And then at some point, he asked you to jog.
I'm sorry?
He asked you to jog. He asked you to run.
Oh, yes. He told me to speed up, yes.
Did that alarm you?
Well, I was already, I just, proceeded to speed up.
And you go from sitting in the trailer, browsing the internet, right?
Yes.
Nothing's happening.
Correct.
You had no concern that anything was happening inside the house.
That's correct, sir.
To go to the front door, start jogging to the front door, get in there.
Correct.
Your tension was heightened.
That is correct, sir.
So you get to the front door, and you're instructed to go upstairs. Is that right?
At this particular moment, no. Until I said, the front door is locked. And then once the nanny approached and opened the door, I told Michael Mir, okay, I'm inside the house. Then he instructed me to go upstairs.
And you did?
I did.
And that's unusual, too.
That was unusual, yes.
And in fact, you said you've been upstairs twice.
Correct.
Both times was merely to help bring the hairdresser up.
That is correct, sir.
So this is unusual. Did you think at this time that maybe there was something wrong with Mr. Jackson?
Yes. I knew something was wrong. I didn't know it was with Mr. Jackson.
And you are Mr. Jackson's security.
That's correct.
You're his security, his safety. That's paramount. That's your responsibility, right?
That's correct.
You were concerned.
I was concerned, yes.
You get up to the landing. You see Dr. Murray walking through the foyer.
Yes.
To the foyer, and then you hang up the phone with Michael Amir when he says something.
Correct, sir.
All right. So let's go over all the things that you did.
Yes.
Prior to calling 911.
Okay.
You walked through the foyer.
Yes.
You walked from the landing to the foyer.
Yes.
Into the bedroom.
Correct.
All right. And as you walked into the bedroom, there was a scene that opened up to you that was shocking.
Correct, sir.
And in fact, you were stunned.
I was shocked, yes.
You saw Michael Jackson lying there with his mouth open, with his eyes open, right?
Correct.
And at that period of time, you were frozen.
I was, I don't recall if I was frozen at that time, but I know I was. It was shocking to see the situation.
You were in shock then.
Yes, it was stunning. Yes.
And you looked around the room.
Not at that particular time, sir.
Well, you looked at Mr. Jackson.
Correct.
And that put you in shock.
Yes.
And then you said to Dr. Murray, what happened?
No, sir.
No. Dr. Murray said to you, the very first thing he said to you when you went into that room,
Correct.
We need an ambulance. We need to get to the hospital.
We need to get him to the hospital. We need an ambulance. Yes.
And you knew what he meant by that.
I knew what he meant.
And you reached down for your phone.
Correct. No, sir.
You reached down for your phone. Where was your phone?
In my pocket, sir.
And you took out your phone.
I did not take out my phone, sir.
Did you touch your phone?
I was reaching into my pocket, sir.
When you first entered the door and you surveyed the area, you were at the door exactly. Is that right?
A little further in.
So a few steps inside.
Yes, sir.
you were going to call 911. Right?
Yes, sir.
And you were interrupted at that point by the children.
Correct.
And you explained how that was. It was both Paris and Prince, wasn't it?
That is correct, sir.
And Paris.
Yes.
And Dr. Murray said, don't let them see their father like this.
Yes.
Get him out.
Get them out. Yes.
But you would have done that on your own, right?
No, sir. I mean, I was just in the moment, and I didn't think about ushering them out. I was thinking about the situation, sir.
Well, I mean, you didn't want them to see their father that way either, right?
Well, sir, I was concerned about Mr. Jackson at that time, sir.
Okay. But you escorted him out.
Yes, I did.
You escorted him out the door of the bedroom, right?
Correct.
Through the foyer,
Correct.
through the landing.
No, sir. I stopped at the door.
Do you recall telling this whole, or testifying at the preliminary hearing?
I recall, yes.
And you started testifying today. You reviewed your testimony at the preliminary hearing, haven't you?
I'm sorry, sir?
You have reviewed your testimony from the preliminary hearing, haven't you?
I have.
When's the last time you reviewed it?
A couple of weeks ago.
You recall stating at the preliminary hearing you walked them to the landing?
I recall saying that I walked them outside the room, sir.
Well, Paris was upset,
Yes.
right? You didn't push the kids out, did
Of course not.
You escorted them.
They followed my instructions when I said, please, children, go outside. We'll take care of the situation. Everything's going to be okay.
So you talked to the children.
Correct.
You comforted them.
I said those words, yes.
You said, please, don't worry, we'll take care of it.
Yes.
You didn't yell at them, right?
Not at all.
Right?
No, sir.
You comforted them. Did you look at them in the eyes when you said that?
I don't recall. I remember looking at both of them.
Then after comforting the children, you went back then into the room.
Correct, sir.
And your testimony today is you did not go outside the foyer?
That is correct, sir.
So you went back through the foyer
That is correct.
into the bedroom.
Yes, sir.
When you come into the room that second time, you close the door, leaving the door slightly. So you walked back into the room
Yes.
and slightly closed the door.
Correct. Well, if I may, sir, I didn't walk back into the room. Like I said, I stopped at the door.
Walked inside the door?
No, sir.
Right
I said I
outside
stopped
the
at the door, and I just retracted a little bit and ajarred the door.
Walked to door, is that fair?
Correct. Yes.
Close the door. And this second time that you came into the room, you were...
I'm sorry to
I'm sorry.
interrupt, Your Honor. Could we have I don't believe the witness can see what's being drawn on this board.
You want to see?
Sure.
Well, the statements of the witness are what's evidence, not what counsel may write.
Well, then I'd object to counsel's testifying if it's not going to be presented to the witness.
Well, we're not going to have testimony, and apparently some of the jurors can't see. Now it's turned away. That's the whole issue with the placement of the exhibit. So I'm overruling the objection, but we're going to do it the right way.
Can I put it here?
Well, I don't know if that makes a difference to the jurors either, because the writing is small.
I can't see.
Juror 7 is saying she can't see, and I can understand that. Well, I think it's a problem for the other jurors and the alternates.
Well, I've got a lot to write down, so I got to write that.
Well,
Size.
maybe it's better to use an overhead.
Okay.
I think
Well,
that's why we have
then-
these contraptions.
Well, if we're going to use the overhead, then I guess we need to start over here. We need to rewrite this.